I didn't want to be on camera. Well, we gotta talk about your stupid car.
Yeah, but I don't want to be on camera. I don't have to do it.
When it's working, turn the light on. When it's working, it's my car. When it's not working, it's your stupid car. I need to pull the Ranger in the driveway. But we got crap in the driveway. So, what are we here to talk about today? We've got a few things going on. Oh, your new daily? Yeah, she's been driving the hell out of this, the Ranger, back and forth every single day to work. It has been out of the driveway. It's been doing pavement princess duties, getting her back and forth from work. But this video, I wanted to talk about a few things. One of those things is something I'm really sick and tired of Ranger owners that I see in the forums. We're gonna get onto that topic, and I think the Ranger owners, they need a reality check, like a big time reality check, and it's partly due to the Morimoto headlights and all the posts that were going on about that. But before I get into that rant, let's talk about this thing, this expensive paperweight. Because that's all it is right now. Because let's go to the front here. Let's talk about everything going on under here. So, do you want to start with how the problems started?
I don't know how it started.
Well, when did you start noticing first your throttle issues?
Well, the first time I've been running E since, gosh, for like a year and a half in this car. And we wanted to go to a pump tune sometime late last year or early this year, I don't remember. And the pump tune was terrible. Like, I was having dead pedal. We thought it was a tune issue. Went back to E, fast forward to May. Went to go try pump tune or pump gas again. Still had issues. Took it to Power Lab. Data logged it. And we've noticed that on the log, the accelerator was commanding 99%, but the throttle was only commanding 5%. So my tuner messed with everything, make sure it wasn't a tune issue, and we came down to think it was a throttle body. However, it was driving fine on E85, but then as time keeps passing, I noticed that on E85 that there was like a dead pedal, there was like loss in between like 15 to 30% throttle. Yeah. And on pump gas it was worse. It almost felt like you're putting a 14-year-old behind a manual car for the first time. That's the best way I could describe it, and it was kind of embarrassing. As
you can see right here, the throttle body is taken off, and I have become an absolute, you want to hold the light real quick? So I have become an absolute pro at disconnecting the Whipple throttle body and adjusting it. Now, you would think that, like, okay, well, let's start with troubleshooting. So the Whipple throttle body, let's take a look at it right here. So the Whipple throttle body, so the Whipple throttle body basically uses components from the stock Mustang throttle body, the S550 throttle body. It uses the motor and this cover. So that attaches to the Whipple 132mm throttle body. Now, the thing that sucks about this throttle body is, let me take off the cover real quick. So let's go ahead and pop these little tabs off. So if you're familiar with S550 throttle bodies, they all have these like little tabs. So once you remove the tabs off the throttle body, this is the inside of a S550 Mustang throttle body. It has this little planetary like gear set. You pop that off. This is what opens and closes the throttle body, and this right here, it looks like, so when you pull this out, it's like a RC truck motor. So it's a brushed motor. It could be brushless, but it is a brushed motor or a brushless motor, And this is basically what drives the throttle body. And it's got this like little chipset, little motherboard. It's got this little, what would you call it?
Circuit board?
Yeah, it's got this little circuit board on it that I guess communicates with the ECU from this harness. So it looks normal, right? It looks like a pretty easy thing to adjust. However, Whipple decided that this black piece, it's held on by three of these, this retaining plate with three of these bolts, and this is a magnet. And you've literally got to turn that magnet like half a millimeter.
Not even. It's
half of a half.
Barely touch it.
Barely touching it. That's how you adjust this throttle body.
For the TPS voltage.
For the TPS voltage, yeah. So we spent, how many sessions did we spend on this?
Total of 3 or 4?
3 or 4 sessions. It has left us stranded on the side of the road twice, and once in an industrial park where we were testing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want the first time to happen in an intersection like it did, so we took it to a park where at least we didn't have to mess with traffic.
Yep. So we adjusted it many times. It would work properly until you would go wide open throttle, and then once the throttle plate would re-shut, it would not go back to whatever setting it was at before. The first time it was completely off. It sounded like a two-step on the car. The second time it was just idling really high, so it kind of just gave up on it. That is what we think is causing the problems with her car. We are going to be sending it off to Whipple, and you guys have, for those that have been like following my channel for a while, I'm going to go back out into the air. It's really, so those of you guys that have been following the channel for a while know that I had a Gen 2 Whipple on my Mustang, and then I had the Gen 3 that's on her car was on, or the Gen 3 that was on my car, we moved to her car. And all those years, I never had any problems. But now the throttle body is, what is it, 6 years old. It's been on 3 different vehicles now, 2 different vehicles. So we think it might just need to be sent off the Whipple for recalibration, and hopefully it's only 150 bucks. The throttle body is $800 if you buy it brand new with all the components already added.
Upgraded one, which I bet they probably fixed that issue.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's where we're at with this car. We're sending the throttle body in Monday. It's in California. I think Julie's going to try to pay for 2-day to get it there early, so that hopefully we can get it back the following week and then fix all these issues. Because within the next month, we're going to be shipping off the Ranger to APG so that it can be, there's some refreshing that needs to be done, some stuff with the shocks, wheel well liners. They're just going to refresh the truck so that we're going to fly in and start our honeymoon in Los Angeles, that area, and then make our way up.
Well, what about the Blazer?
So yes, that's another question. The Blazer, you guys noticed the Blazer is not in the road. We sold the Blazer. The Blazer is sold, which was we didn't really want to sell the Blazer, but one, it was just sitting around. It needed to pass emissions. We ended up selling it to someone that doesn't live in an emissions county, so that helped them. They were able to register, but we weren't. We didn't want to keep dumping money into the Blazer to try to fix it, get it past emissions, and then register it, just because of all the stuff going on with the wedding. That brings me to the topic in the title of this video, and the topic is let me think of a good topic name. Why Ranger owners should be grateful that anybody makes parts for us. I'm probably going to adjust that title a little bit. We got a Fiesta ST. Pretty popular car, wouldn't you think? STs in general, when they sold them here in the US, they're popular in the UK. Super popular, right? Lots of parts available. Pretty good aftermarket. No headlights. No aftermarket headlights. There's some Euro spec headlights. Morimoto doesn't make a set for the ST, which is kind of surprising.
It is.
Because this was a super affordable car that people could just go buy and they want an aftermarket.
I don't even think they make them for the Focus.
I don't think so either. 'Cause most of the headlights for these cars are retrofits. There's a company called D-Spec, I think, that makes taillights. No Morimoto taillights. Companies like White Line, there's good suspension for this car. BC Racing, Fortune Auto, lots of good stuff, right? The Mustang. It's a Mustang, right?
And parts.
Aftermarket galore. Consider this like the Tacoma or the Jeep of like the pony car, muscle car world.
Tail lights, badges,
Yeah,
wings,
tail light.
exhaust,
Yeah,
diffuser,
tons of
wheels,
diffuser options, body options,
hood,
wheel options, hood options,
spoiler,
tons of blowers,
Yeah.
turbo kits galore, tons of aftermarket, roof spoilers, trunks. Like there's probably like a good 10 or so spoilers you could pick from, at least.
if not more.
So my point is, the Mustang has a huge aftermarket. The Fiesta has a pretty good aftermarket. The Ranger, it is when I'm making this video, it's the year 2021. The Ranger has been in the US for how long? 2 years. 2 years. Now look at this truck. It looks like it has a ton of aftermarket on it. Which, if you think about it, when it comes to flares, if you're looking at flares, you've got a few options. You've got fiberglass, you've got carbon fiber, which is here, the APG stuff. You've got Bushwhacker. You've got RTR, which is like a copy of a Bushwhacker or a Roush flare. You've got Roush flares. You got a few options for flares, right? Tuning. Okay, so you got Ford, you got Roush. You've got a few aftermarket companies, which is surprising because nobody that really tunes the Mustangs really tunes the Rangers, which is kind of weird. Top tuners for the Mustang: Lund, Palm Beach Dyno, which Palm Beach Dyno did like a video of the Ranger once, and then that was it. They never carried it forward. Now this is why I'm getting into this conversation. Bumpers. There's a few bumpers available. Roof racks, there's like 2 roof racks available. I think there's another company that's about to come out with a roof rack. Grills, yeah. There's the ugly one that they have for the Mustang too. It's what's that one company? T-Rex grills. Oh, they did. T-Rex makes a grill for the Ranger. It's absolutely disgusting. It's like no, it's like chromed out, just garbage. So of course you got the Fraptor grills. You've got, you know, what are the other ones? AFN. You have a few aftermarket stuff, but it's nothing like the Jeep or Tacoma. A lot of people are like, well, why is that? Why is the Ranger so popular in Australia, so popular in the Philippines? You look at the Philippine Ranger market, the Autobot guys or whatever, tons of aftermarket. Some of it's cringy aftermarket, like some of the cringy stuff that they have for the Mustang.
Why are you showing my car?
Not that that's cringe, but what I'm saying is there's cringy stuff like this, and I'm gonna put a picture of the little teeth grill for the Mustang. There's cringy stuff, but there's still aftermarket, right? So what was I saying? The whole thing with, like, if you look at the Philippine market, the Australian market, it's booming with Ranger parts, whether it's bumpers or snorkels or, you know, anything you can think of. Tons of options. Why is that? Why is the US market not really targeted by big company names? Now, that brings me to this. Morimoto headlights, $1,300. They replaced the halogen and the lariat stuff. Now you think, wow, you know, $1,300. It's quite a lot of money. I'm not saying that it's not a lot of money. It is a lot of money. How much were your Morimotos for the Mustang?
I think they're $750, $800.
Okay, $750, $800. For one, was it the Bizine on LED or whatever? For one.
I don't know if I could use it. Is my battery even on?
Yeah, it should be. Okay, yeah. So one, and you've got like a DRL ring, but it's nothing like the Ranger. that has like a sequential. So $750, $800 just for one light. The Ranger one has 3 triple beams. It's got a sequential setup. It's plug and play on Lariat and non-Lariat versions, and they're $1,300. To me, that seems like a fair price.
But the stock headlight puts out a
Yeah,
light.
yeah. So it gets me to this point to where recently someone posted up, a bunch of people have been posting up, well, the pre-orders opened up for the Morimoto headlights, and they're like, oh, anything from like, oh, my LED bulbs and my XLT headlamps are just fine. $1,300 is ridiculous for headlights. Blah blah blah. Like it's all over the board. The people that are buying these aren't really saying anything. They're just like, I don't really care. I'm just gonna. But I think they sold out on pre-orders within the first day. A couple people messaged me that they said that theirs came in already. So that mentality, that type of post, people are on the Ranger groups. So these companies have representatives. Whether you see them or not, there's companies that are on the Ranger groups, all of them, that see the type of reception that new products that come to market. How do these Ranger guys respond to it? And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of these Ranger guys that you see on the forums, they're like older guys. They don't know anything about aftermarket. They don't build anything. They literally have a truck where they go to Home Depot, they go to Walmart, they don't do anything. They don't realize that like companies don't want to invest in the R&D to make stuff for the truck if the attitude of the owners are like that. And that's one big thing that if you, and the thing that sucks is that the 2023 Ranger is on the horizon. It's a brand new platform. Meaning, well, either one or two things are going to happen to the 2019 to 2022, 2023 Ranger. Aftermarket companies are not going to devote the R&D time to developing aftermarket for this truck, or they're still in the process, but they're not really going to, I don't know, they're not going to devote much more time to it because there's something new on the horizon. Or they're devoting their R&D departments to the Bronco. The Bronco is going to be huge. It already is. There's tons of people that are looking to get a Bronco. Everyone from like your typical Jeep girl that never has hit off-roading, that just has like princess stickers and Jeep Wave stickers on their mirror.
Rockstar wheels.
Rockstar wheels. All the way to like, the guys that are serious about off-roading, and that's going to be a huge community. So companies are devoting that time to the Bronco. They're not devoting time to the Ranger. And it sucks because this is such a solid platform. It's got a solid motor. The 2.3 is really strong. It tows quite a lot. There's people towing like trailers with cars on them, and they're not having any issues, getting good gas mileage, pretty decent gas mileage. It's a solid truck, but the attitude is just so piss poor on these forums that I foresee, if I was a company and I was reading these comments from people bitching about $1,300 headlights, I wouldn't make jack shit for them. I wouldn't. I'd be like, why would I? These guys don't want... If you look at headlights, aftermarket headlights for other vehicles, and people like the G's, the Z community, the Mustang community, tons of communities that spend the money to buy aftermarket parts for their cars. Someone posted, they're like, oh, well, why do people treat their stuff like it's nothing more than just something to get you from point A to point B? Yes, you're right. But when it comes to an enthusiast market where it's like Morimoto, APG, Baja Designs, Prinsu, those companies don't want to invest in a platform where people don't want to foot the bill. Like the F-150 community. Tons of tuning options, tons of aftermarket. They have a huge, like, it's huge. The F-150 community is big. So there's tons of stuff that's available for it. All I'm saying is the attitude of the Ranger community is pretty foul when it comes to new products. And it's reflected poorly on Ranger owners it's reflected poorly on the future of the aftermarket of Ranger stuff. And if nothing changes, and you know, if people don't just say like, if they don't say stuff like, you know, well, $1,300 is a lot of money, but I get it, it's good quality stuff, it's just not for me, that's different. What were some of the things people were saying about the headlights?
There's one that was like, oh, the stock headlight beam is just fine. Are these even brighter? Like,
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
What was there? There's some other ones I would have to look back into. Just, oh, someone waiting to see when they would crack.
Yeah.
Or get scratched.
Yep. So I don't, you know, I don't put too much into communities. Like we've been in a lot of different communities. I've been in a lot. Subaru communities, Mustang communities. I've been in the Fiesta community for a little bit, so I get to see what's going on there. You go into the Ranger groups, it's kind of a joke. Like, there's some good people in the Ranger groups. Don't get me wrong, there's some really good people.
Some good people.
We have met some really awesome people in the Ranger groups. I'm talking about those guys that, like, you don't really know who they are. They just randomly post bullshit. And those are the ones that, like, make the community pretty foul when it comes to the future of this platform. And it sucks. And I hope I'm wrong, but, like, Peak Suspension had, like, relentless bumpers. I never saw them get released. And as far as I know, Nick from Peak said that, like, they needed like 15 pre-orders. If you can't get 50, and I don't think they ever went to market with it, they never got 15. And if you can't get 15 people to foot the bill for a bumper, why would they create them? And that sucks. And I don't know if I hope I'm wrong, that, like, the future of the Ranger community just evolves, right? The guys that aren't so serious about the Rangers, they move on to something else, right? They move on to a different platform, right? They go to, like, a Jeep platform, and, like, God help them.
The Maverick.
The Maverick, yeah. And I saw that. Like, I saw people where they were saying, like, stuff like, well, you know, I bought the Ranger because that was the only thing in the market, but the Maverick fits me more. That's completely fair. Because a lot of these guys that have Rangers, they're not doing anything with them. They're not traveling, they're not off-roading, they're not hauling anything, they're not doing anything with it. It's just the daily driver.
This is a daily.
Well, yeah, I mean, it does multiple duties. And don't get me started on the people like, oh, you leave your tent on and your gear all the time? Yes, we leave everything on our vehicles all the time.
That would be dumb.
To take it off?
If we were maybe doing one trip a year, like big monthly trips.
Summers are slowest. We don't really go camping in the summer.
It's hot. I'm sweating just standing here.
Yep.
But I would get it. Like, if we were like, you know, we take a month off and whenever to go travel, and then we come back and then it's norming time. Yeah, I get taking it off. But summer might be our slow, but we try to go at least once a month, if not twice.
Yeah.
So that'd be so much work to take everything off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice because, like, we do take the truck to the car show, like, and we'll pop the tent so people can check it out.
Yeah.
So it's not even there for us to use, but for others to see and maybe get into it.
I mean, we know someone, like, Blake took off his, like, he had a hoist that takes his rack off and tent and mounts it in the
But I
garage.
think because he also used his Raptor for other things, and with the deck system and the bed, it limited his bed space. So,
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, if you have a nice electric hoist that you could just easily pop it off and put it back on.
Yeah, but the problem is we have electrical stuff on the rack
that's
too.
what I was gonna say.
So
Like, we have all our lighting routed to it. And
here's the thing, like, when it comes to, like, hate in the truck or Overland or Ranger or whatever community it is, it's the same type of BS that you would get with this. They're like, well, why do you have 850 horsepower if you're just going to work? Because I want to.
That's
So
usually my answer when you ask why to boost my car.
And someone asked me the other day, well, why do you have those decals on the back? Because I want them there. Like, we're grown ass adults. Like, every one of us, you're probably watching this video, we're grown ass adults. You spend your money however you want to spend. The one thing is, when you post your stuff online, you have to open yourself up to criticism, to some ridicule. But that's like, you know, yeah, we make fun of the rough country guys because they're like, oh, it's 6-inch lift, blah, 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 you know, pavement princess wheels. At the end of the day, I don't really care. It's fun to joke about it once in a while. Like, I see people will post their Ranger and it'll have like a set of 20s or 22s. And it's not my thing. And like someone will laugh, react the post. It's kind of dumb, but like I get it. But like that's normal stuff. But when it comes to stuff like, well, rooftop tents. Don't get me started on the whole rooftop tent versus ground tent thing. I
think our video is already long enough.
We're at 30 minutes right now.
Oh my god.
So, I'm getting off track. This is going to be an hour-long video. All I'm saying is the Ranger community right now, when it comes to like the future, you guys should be thankful for the products that are available for this truck. You should be thankful for the vendors that have taken the time to R&D parts for this truck, because at the end of the day, it is a platform that was an intermediate platform. Ford released the Ranger in the US market to see how it would do against the Tacoma, against the Colorado. Colorado's been around for a while. The Ranger is like still the new kid on the block, and it's starting to make a name for itself, especially with the Tremor. But there's a new Ranger on the horizon, and honestly, I'm keeping an eye on the new Ranger. I have no real interest in the Bronco anymore. I don't.
I still do.
They're cool, but like, I want to see what the new Ranger looks like, because I see this truck, I foresee this truck getting a topper, some sort of a nice topper, removing the rack, putting it on the new Ranger, if we did get a new Ranger.
Raptor Ranger?
Like a Raptor Ranger or something. Because I love the Ranger size. I don't want an F-150. Like, I don't want a full-size truck. We don't haul anything. And if we did need to haul one of our vehicles, the Ranger would be fine. It's like, why would you buy a 7-bedroom house if it's just you and me? Like, cool, yeah, you got all that room, but you don't use it for anything. Half the rooms are empty. There's no furniture in them. And why are you going to furnish something that you're never going to use? I understand full-size vehicles if you use it for traveling. If you're back and forth, you take company, you know, people ride with you. There is a little bit more comfort in a full-size since there's so much more space in the cab. But like, the Ranger's comfortable.
Most of the time it's just me and you.
Yeah, just most of the time it's just me and you.
I freaking love driving in that thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's long travel, it's got kings and everything. I would hope it's comfortable.
It drives like a pillow.
It drives like a pillow. Yes. But all I'm saying is, you guys should be thankful that there's companies out here like Morimoto. And like, I don't get any money off of Morimotos if you buy them. You don't have to buy them. I want to be in the Ranger community. I want to see it grow. I want to see it continue to grow, whether it be with this platform or the new Ranger platform. I couldn't imagine, like, with a new Ranger, 2023, 2024 Ranger that's built by APG, with whatever new stuff, it's probably going to be so sick. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't even know if it's going to come across coherent or not, or if it's just going to be me talking the whole 35 minutes.
She's screaming in the background.
Yeah, but I hope you enjoyed this video. And like I said, you know, I hope there's certain people in the Ranger community that do leave and do go on to something else. I'm not going to name names, but the core guys, you know who you are. You guys know exactly who you are. The ones that are involved in the Ranger community that, you know, put content out there, that support these companies, that, you know, talk about your Rangers almost every day. You guys are the winners. So take it easy, and I'll see you later. Bye.